Alright. Let's fly into space, I guess. Uchika Sunjika is ready to send you off with a smile. I suppose this is where we part our ways, for now at least. Would I have sage words of wisdom to share before you depart? May I have the teaching of Galbaldesian would suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, look beyond them and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life, things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture into the sea of stars. Oh, okay. This, oh, is the Labyrinth supposed to have this music? This is the pinnacle of etherochemistry, a synthesis of modern innovation and the ancient wisdom of Alag. The Ark's engine appears to be capable of processing condensed ether in quantities I never thought possible. Who's this? No clue. Man. All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way. Finished. Oh, but we did it. We finished this ship. He said it was the best ship in Japanese. Safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a garland through and through. Really don't know what we do without you. Thank you for everything. Don't mention it. Ever since the episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of starfaring vessels. They say necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do, but feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So have you thought of a name?
名前って箱舟じゃないの？
Name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
それは元の目的に即した名だろう。せっかくだ。今のあり方にふさわしい名前をつけてやれって責任者殿に提案しておいたのさ。
Seeing as its purpose had changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortunal, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
知っての通り、この船は多くの者の協力があってこそ完成した。
As you know, this vessel is the combination of heretofore unprecedented
それ
collaboration.
は暁が結んできた絆あってのことだが、もう一つ重要なきっかけがあったと考えている。
And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made all work possible.
我々にエクスアダマントをはじめ宇宙進出にまつわる多くの知識を与えたダラが
From a fragment of Dalimut, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars.
その破片が北洋にまで飛来したのは父ルイゾワが命を懸けて戦ったからに他ならない。
This fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Luisua not fought to protect this world, and in doing so laid down his life.
船が真なる完成にこぎつけた今、私はこれらの事実を偶然ではなかったと感じている。
Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance.
父の導きだったのではないか。
If it was my father's intention to guide us here. Not
その
really.
導きが登場する皆を無事に帰還させることを願い、ダラガブの高速艦と同じ名を船に与えよう。
In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I named the vessel after the self-same fragment of Dalimut he delivered onto us.
すなわち魔導船ラグナロク。
Starship Ragnar. Okay. That's a ominous name.
よう待たせたな。頼まれてた連中きっちり全員連れてきたぜ。
But for the wait, I got everyone you asked for and not one less.
Mina, どうしてここに?
What you all doing here?
私が独自の信仰を持つ一族を呼んできてほしいとお願いしたのですわ。
Well, I invited them, the representative of those tribes with religious inclinations.
おかげさまで万全に仕上がったラグナロクですが、実際に動かすにはマザークリスタルのエーテルが必要。
Done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok. Before it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother
と
Crystal.
はいえ、あのサイズのクリスタルを正解から運び出し、小さく砕いてエーテル縮体炉に放り込んでいくのはあまりに時間の無駄ですわ。
Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare. Not to mention, we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards while feeding it to the engines.
そこでマザークリスタルを一度自在に動ける力に変えてラグナロクにぶち込むことを提案しましたの。
But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves.
神殺し。いえ、そ の原型たる創造魔法を使うおつもりですね。
Though it's employs summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
おい、俺たちにもわかるように説明してくれ。
Here to explain for our benefit?
ベストウェイバローで片鱗を見た方もいるかと思いますが、レポリットたちは古の創造魔法を用いて月の環境を作り上げてきたのです。
As you may have witnessed at Bestway Burrow, the Loppers are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment.
自身やクリスタルなどのエーテルを万物に変える魔法、それを正しく発動させるには作るものを明確に思い描く必要があります。
It's simple though they make it seem, just a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly require the wielder hold up the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
だから古代においてはイデアと呼ばれる設計図が作られ保管されていたんだったね。
It's the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
そしてこの創造魔法から派生した術がアシエンの広めた神おろしです。
Drawing upon this art, the Asians conceived of summoning as we know it.
神おろしに際して設計図の役割を果たしたのは日常的に神を想起するという行為、信仰でした。
The derivative that replaces the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
ああ、なるほど。つまりレポリットの知る本来の創造魔法と彼らの信仰によってマザークリスタルを変換する。
I see, by combining the Loppers' magics and tribe's faith, we convert the mother crystal into primals of purer form and greater
正
being.
しい形で神おろしをしようというのね。
Summoning, as it was intended, one might say.
その通りですわ。
Indeed, indeed.
私たちは創造魔法を与えられましたが、ハイデリン様はどうしてか心あるものの創造だけは禁止なさいましたの。
Hylian gave us the ability to use creation magic. She forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul or
で
sin.
すから信仰を持つ皆さんと協力し、マザークリスタルを彼らの神々に変えてラグナロクへと送るのですわ。
She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desire of others, though. So, borrowing a friend's faith, we'll create deities using the mother crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok.
それってテンパードになったりしないの？
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
シャーレアンが蓄積してきた資料を見るに、アシエンが広めた神おろしの術式には自己の増幅という概念が組み込まれているようでした。
Alright, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Charlatan Tomes, it appears the Asians incorporated an additional nasty element into the summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief.
だから呼び出された神々は召喚者も含め周囲のものを信徒にしようとした。
Beings thus created instill with self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoning.
けれど本来の創造魔法にその概念はありません。さすがにゾディアーク級を作れば引っ張られるでしょうが、今回の規模であればご心配には及ばないかと。
In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, accept no substitutes. Don't incorporate any of their rubbish, so there's no risk of tampering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
まあ正直オイラも詳しくは分かってないよ。
You'll be told I do not understand the intricacies of this plan, but none of us would ever turn our backs on you.
たださ、あんたたちはオイラたちの信仰が暴走してたら止めてくれた一方で、悪いものだからやめろとは言わなかったでしょ。
When the avatars of a fate ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them.
時にはちょっと分かろうとしてくれたりさ。あれ嬉しかったんだよね。
Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship.
だからオイラたちの神様が本当は誰かを傷つけるためにいるんじゃないってこと、あんたたちに見せてあげるよ。
In gratitude, we will share with you the true expression of our gods, not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
よっしゃ、野郎ども、このまま正解の底まで移動すんぞ。はぐれないようにしっかりついてこいよ。
Alright, Lug, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost. Lead the way, isn't that dangerous? May you have a moment?
転移魔法の研究者として人が生涯に出る日のために作ってきたものがあるんだ。
In anticipation of the day man might make journey to the stars, we develop these. A Pokedex?
それは小型の転移装置さ。あんたたちに渡す8台は連動して動くようになってる。
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem.
誰かが中央のボタンを押すと数秒後に一斉発動。触れているものをラグナロクの内部に瞬間移動させるんだ。
Push the button to one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to Ragnarok.
宇宙では何が起きるかわからないからね。バラバラになったり戻れなくなったりした場合にオセロコがそれを押すんだよ。
There's no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them.
それで全員無事に戻っておいで。
Be safe, all of you, and come back.
はい、地上。
Yes, you as well, I pray. Something like that.
そろそろ登場させていただきますわね。
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board.
神下ろしのためにいくらかの仲間は残りますが、私含めえりすぐりのクルーたちで快適な宇宙の旅にお連れしますわ。
Yeah, my pals will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competing crew.
皆も準備ができたものから登場してくれ。心より健闘を祈る。
If you're ready, then you should board as well. Go and Godspeed. Primal summoning, as it was intended. I never dared to consider they could be invoked without the danger of tampering. Change has come quickly to the star, and greater change yet awaits. Awaits in the days to come. All the more reason you must not fall. Wanna come along? die in these, except for this. Oh, hold on. If you come this way, I'll direct you to the bridge. Yeah, I have time.
ようこそ魔導戦ラグナロクのブリッジへ。いない方は手を挙げて。忘れ物はしっかり持ちましたわね。よろしい。こちらも準備は万端です。当館は間もなくウルティマトゥーレに向けて出発しますわ。
Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting on in just a moment. It's incredible. This is Fortunal. Can you hear me? Preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when you're ready. So are you ready? As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going. Oh, come on. A burnt out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again with feeling. Me? But I... No need to be coy, brother. Do it and do it well. If you insist. What is this? Power Rangers. I can barely see.
まったく私に人を運ぶ風になれとは不敬にも程があろう。
キャッキャッキャ、そうむくれるな。その嵐とはただ荒れ狂うのみにあらず、勢い任せで推し進めるも嵐の神の剣能よ。しかればここは踊ってやるのもまた一興。いざいざいざ祭りである。
だが確かに悪くはない心地じゃ。風とは元来かように自由なものであったか。ならば大いに吹き荒れくれてやる。さあ飛べ人よ、嵐よりも解く。
跳躍高校に入りましたわ。状況はどうかしら？
最高だ。こいつはマジでいい船だな。
As well, fantastic game.
エーテル宿大路も神さんたちが運んできたエーテルを食ってぶち上がってやがるぜ。
Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
各種数値も想定通りだよ。ハイデリン様が示した座標までの体感時間は8人陣分。最後の1本は惜しみつつって感じかな。
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats, perhaps 7 at a pinch.
であれば簡潔に注意事項をお伝えしておきますわ。
Right, let's go over some points of caution.
目的地ウルティマトゥーレは特定の星ではありません。強いて言うなら何もない中域ですわ。
Destination, as you know, is Ultima 2. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness.
けれどそれは物質やエーテルに基づいた観測の結果。
The extent of what our equipment could determine anyway.
メーティオンがデュナミスを扱えるなら、そこに不可測の巣が作られていてもおかしくないかと。
From what we know of Meteon, she's likely used dynamics to obfuscate her location.
早い話が行ってみないとわからないというわけね。
So in conclusion, we only know what's there when we get there.
私たちはこの船を航行可能な状態に保ち、皆さんの退路を確保しなければなりません。
Rui and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice.
探索についてはできる範囲でサポートいたしますが、 基本的にお任せすることになるでしょう。
Support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there's any.
ハイデリン様が見込んだあなた方ならきっと大丈夫。ご自分でもそれを信じて心を強く持ってくださいませ。
But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Idol believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourself.
ただし、無茶は禁物ですわ。出発前にあのご夫妻からいただいた転移装置は片時も手放してはいけません。
Just don't do anything I wouldn't, like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours.
そして少しでも誰か一人でも危険を感じたら躊躇せずにボタンを押すこと。宇宙では一瞬の判断の遅れが命取りになりますわよ。
Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits, and you should as well.
了解だ。方針に異論はないよ。
Understood. We promise to be careful.
話が終わったなら転がらないように備えておいてね。もう少しで目的の中域に到着。出るときは少し揺れるよ。
Suggest you brace yourselves. You're about to arrive, and the vessel will shake a good bit.
あれ？なんだこれ？何かの力に干渉されてる？
こんにちは。こんにちは。聞こえますか？
そうか、彼女が。
This is meeting.
あなたは誰？私たちのどれかと会ったことがあるのかしら。
Oh, have you met with one of my sisters?
ごめんなさい。思い出せないの。でも、あなたたちがアーテリスから来たことは知ってるわ。
She said sorry, though. I don't remember meeting you myself, but I do know you're from Aetheris.
ねえ、どうして待っていれば終わりにしてあげたのに、なぜ飛び出してきてしまったの？
Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you, and
その終わりを望んでないからよ。
we didn't ask for that.
わからないわ。生命は移ろって、最後には必ず終わるものでしょう。
Don't understand. All life is destined to end.
長く苦しんでから死ぬよりも潔く終わりにした方がいいじゃない。
Choose to prolong your suffering.
悩んでもがいて頑張ったって何になるわけでもないし、必死に掴んだ幸福も積み重ねてきた進歩だって、例えば星が寿命を迎えるような時には跡形も残らない。
Ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost, stolen away by events beyond your control.
生きることに意味はないのよ。偶然により集まった熱がうごめいていることをあなたたちが勝手に素晴らしいと歌っているだけ。
There's no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves, but it's all a cruel accident.
あ 拒まないで。あなたたちだって夜星の海を見上げれば理解できたはず。
Now I speak the truth, a truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky.
宇宙の本質は滑らかな冷たい闇、静かな無。星や生命はそこに点々と生じた海に過ぎない。
An emptiness, cold, dark, and silent, your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric.
生きるということは不自然で、だから到底うまくできるようになっていないの。おとなしくあるべき形に帰りましょう。
It's an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
悪いけれど、その議論を戦わせに来たわけじゃないの。
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you.
私たちだってよくわかっているもの。命が続くのは当たり前じゃないし、それがあれば幸せを享受できるわけでもない。
We know that life is fleeting and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
実際ここまでに出会ってきた奴らもみんながみんな満足して報われたわけじゃなかった。
Indeed, I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met.
俺にだって思い出すたび血へどを吐きたくなる悔いがある。これを抱えたままどこかで死んで、やってきたことも思いも散りあくたとして消え去るだろうさ。
I myself have plenty of regrets, and one day they'll die with me, gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
その理不尽にも思える断りを受け止められること、悲しみや怒りや絶望をあるものとして認め、なおも何かを望めること。
But we accept this, that our existence may seem pointless, that sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels.
それをもってハイデリンはここに至る道を示した。
We press on regardless. That is why Heinlein guided us here.
人を愛し、故に人の試練となり、誕生してきた彼女の執念が今、君に追いついたんだ。
In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name we have come for you.
感じるわ。じりじりと燃えるような思い。怒りにも似た願い。
Yes, I sense it, a burning passion, like unto fury.
これと似た熱を私は知っている。かつて、それを灯していた星々があったから。
It went well, for the same passion once burned in many a star before yours.
でも、みんな消えてしまった。
ここから先は私たちの巣。思いだけが真実となる世界。そしてここに渦巻く思いたちは命を肯定していない。あなたたちはあることすらできないわ。
一体何が起きた？
Light of Fury.
サンクレット。
Thancred?
メーティオンの姿もないわね。先に目覚めて彼女を追いかけていったのかしら。
Well, I know that's not true. Meteon is gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
驚いた。いつの間にかちゃんと着陸してるじゃないか。
Everyone, it appears we're at our destination.
ここウルティマトゥーレだよ。
This is Ultima Tool.
それだけじゃありません。船外に環境と呼べるものが構築されています。
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this.
大気の構成内容、温度、光源、いずれも人が活動可能な数値です。この中域がこんな風になっているはずないのに。
Atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures. All readings are within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
サンクレットさんも外に出たのかもしれません。私が先頭を務めますので、一度出てみましょう。
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Is he alright? Are they baiting us?
あなたたちは船の点検を、要請があればすぐに出せるようにしておいてください。それから船内の生態スキャンも頼みますわ。
Well, I want the rest of you to perform a full inspection of the ship as well as a biological scan. Is this even real? Am I dreaming?
そして探求せし人々は終わりの幻想にたどり着く。
That Hive does this voice?
一つずつ重ねられてきた旅路。その歴史が嫌というほど私に知らしめてきた。幾度幕を閉じれども、進むことを志す者がいる限り、新たな世界は始まるのだと。
だからこそ、彼らに終えてもらうとしよう。
Emmet Silk and Hive Lotus?
私たちの舞台、星と命の物語のフィナーレだ。
Wait, the final chapter? Why is he saying that it's the final chapter?
これ星の残骸。
Is this a dead star?
驚くべきことですが、環境としては本当に問題ありませんわ。
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. The environment itself shouldn't kill us.
だとしたら、私たちはサンクレットを探しながら、この場所のことを調べてみるわ。
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area.
他のレポリットたちと一緒に、ラグナロクの整備をしながら待っていてちょうだい。
The ship will leave in your care. Well, we usually collect ether cartons. There shouldn't be any ether here, right? I can't guarantee it'll be of any help in this strange surrounds, but ready a provisions note in case of emergency. Of course, if you encounter any real danger here, I expect you to return to the Ragnarok at once. We're clearly no match for Meteon, yet we survive unscathed, but how? Clearly no match for Meteon, that is not a good sign. Fortunately, this place can support life, albeit barely. I suspect given the torpid, still quality of the air. But never mind that, we must find Thancred. Let's begin our search from the prow of the ship. Seems as good a direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. Ether currents. Is that a dragon? Okay. They only dragons here? That would make sense actually. Oh, that's not even a dragon. Oh, darn. The structure here in front of me? Yes, a tower of some sort, partially melted, in a strange twist of fate. It seems our perception of this place is not so different as it would be elsewhere. The world as I used to see it, it feels as though I'm dreaming while awake. This is more than a faded memory. Meteor led us to believe. So, like, there's very faint ether here? Ruins? But of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to try to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic? An inscription? Anything. Is this where Omega came from? Maybe? Metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely sometime in the distant past. Damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately, rather it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction often wrought in the heat of battle. Wait, did Meteon take over Midgardsormr's planet? Is that what happened? Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design of the top suggests it's man-made, though its builders were surely not mad as we conceive of them. Having said that, I swear I've seen this pattern before. I thought this hill might offer a better view of our surroundings, a poor decision in hindsight. Besides the light from the ship, all is shrouded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know of it. From what I can tell, we're at the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floating debris. What is that light? What is that? We're able to find anything? As I feared, and still no trace of Pancrat. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which unfortunately isn't very far. But I can't help but suspect that someone or something is out there. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted, leaving me with the feelings of death and anguish. Over there. Wait, you're telling me canonically we have not seen the dragons yet? What are you talking about? There's nothing there. Oh, they can't see it. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed, we found only more questions when we're in desperate need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboard we've yet to explore. Let's try searching there then. Wait, I can't see the dragons. Hey, Mr. Dragoon, do you see them? Kane, a word before you join the others. What is that? You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt you're born of Midgard-Stormer, and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live in Aetheris? Better to leave such conjecture to the others. In that case, you must be careful. You may soon find dragons that can see us all. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder? What the heck are those? NPC dragons? Dragons here?
あなたたちが見ているのは私が渡ってきた星々の記憶よ。
What you see is a memory of a world that once was.
再現された末後の光景。私の心に溶け合った終焉を歌うものの一つ。
A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion. What? The world is dead?
ええ、そうよ。
あの星にはもう生きてるものは一つもない。空っぽのまま宇宙の隅を漂ってるわ。
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness.
彼らも命を持たない影胞子。永遠に嘆き続け、デュナミスを染めるだけの気候なの。
These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
サンクレットの行方をご存知なのではありませんか？
Our friend Thancred, where is he?
おかしなことを聞くのね。彼ならすぐそばにいるでしょ。
Strange question. He's at your side, is he not?
そこにもここにも、この中域のどこにでも。形はなくなってしまって言葉も交わせないけれどね。
Oh yes, he is here and there and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself he had form to form words.
嫌悪と不安の味がする。あなたたち、自分がどうしてそこに立っていられるのかちっとも分かっていなかったのね。
Such loading uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. And this is what exactly what is afraid of.
私、アーテリスに送っている週末と同じに、デュナミスであなたたちのエーテルを食らい尽くそうとしたの。
In like manner to the Oblivion I sent, I tried to drown out an ether with dynamis.
まず最初に、息もできないのに飛びかかってきたあのサンクレットって人からね。
Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe.
人一人なんて消すのはあっという間だわ。彼は瞬きする間も異形になる余地すらなく消し飛んで。
Such a simple thing, unmaking man. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. You unmade him?
だけどほんの一片だけ残ってみせたのよ。心、魂、そういう核となる部分。彼はそこでこの後に及んで曇りなく思っていたの。守ると。その思いはデュナミスを動かしていた絶望より強かった。だから逆に侵食されてこの中域が作り変えられてしまったわ。
Wait. There used to be nothing here? And you willed something to be here?
あなたたちが認識できる形に、生命の存在が許された空間に。
Into a place you can perceive and where life can endure.
呼吸ができているのなら、それは彼の魂がまだ消されずに抗っている証よ。いつまで続けられるかは知らないけれど。
You draw a breath as proof that his soul lives on. For how long? However, remains to be seen.
だったらとっとと用事を済ませるまでだ。
無駄よ。本当の私には届かない。
It's futile. You'll never reach the true me.
言ったでしょう。ここは思いだけが真実となる世界。多少作り変えられたところで、その本質は変わらない。
Told you, emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter its nature.
見えているだけじゃ触れられないし、歩いているだけじゃ進まないわ。
You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
くそ。どうする？ここじゃメイティオンの力はあまりに圧倒的だ。次に同じようなことをされたら。
Meteon holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim? And why didn't she try it again?
進ませてください。サンクレットはそのために私たちを守ってくれているのです。
I do not know. Tancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
私も同意見よ。逃げるのも成果のないまま時間切れも絶対にごめんだわ。
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here, not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice. Will was strong enough to reshape Ultima Thule that we might survive, yet I may see again. Sacrifice must not be wasted. Wait. It was him that... Oh, okay, that's interesting. Though without body, a form of being with which we cannot reach, we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we exist in a similar state when residing in the first. The circumstances are rather more dire than that. It is true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Probably not. Regardless, in the sacrifice you have offered us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, but and ascertain the nature of this realm that we might confront and defeat Media. Christine and Kane, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surrounds. If there is a path that may lead us to a quarry, we must find it. Very well, we can reconvene here and when everyone is finished. Meteon said these dragons are a shadow and shade for a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they are not likely to be amenable to company, let alone conversation, so please be careful. Let's put it up and gather what knowledge we may. The visitor, not of this storm. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble flame? Oh, how we adore thee, alas! With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its inexorable march into oblivion. If thou art not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. The distant veil of paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were proud and noble race, strength and body, we knew only love before day came, metal monstrosities of black and silver. No bonds of blood did they share, no conviction did they have to guide them. So this is Midgard Summer and Omega. Crushing defeat, never had we known such shame. Still, now are the winds, though none could fill this wings burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Thou wouldst beat me, speak? Folly. Observe the lesson of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roll, only watch and wait and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentation. Am no, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go. It be that thy will, I shall remain. Damn, this area is huge. Dragon egg. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aethers. Midgard Summer's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as this. Vitra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Inside the shattered egg, we find remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. Ew. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside and see a formless mass soaking in the pool of embryonic fluid. The stomach turns as you return the egg into its resting place. Murky liquid is pulled inside this eggshell. The noxious photon is indicative of contamination. The egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonet within succeeded in hatching. What's this? I thought all eggs had been ruined. I just realized. What? What's up with the font? The dragonet was indeed hatched. There's no sign of it here, for its sire or that matter. We should look for them. We start with the cliff tops and now search the plains. God damn it. Want to get some XP, man. The boisterous howling had been quieted by thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon, or something resembling. I see what's happening here. Was that your child? Perhaps some eggs within Amnola indeed mine. If life within one did quicken, the beast thou hast slain by may be of my blood. Yet I do not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain? They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them wrought war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only the beginning. Until chaos and destruction swept over the star, in the end, the invaders were victorious. Yet when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. Wait, they didn't finish the job? Why did Midgard somehow run then? Wait, he chose to leave his... Huh? The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild a futile effort. In purest soil, replete with ether, did we once cultivate our nesting grounds, but all ends were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived to hatch emerge as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Men would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers and the arrival of dragons, incited contests for supremacy. Okay. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life to be drawn to conflict, to conquer or be conquered. The vicious cycle we now choose to break, tired of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. The brief dragon has fallen silent, leaving Astinian to sigh frustration. They wanted only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed, a pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. A test of will. Another one. And another one. It's just a reference to Omega, right? Wait. You would hear what dragons have to share with you, even if it's no different from what they told Urianger, it would have value. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Kane, Estinian. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark as it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island. It vanished, only to reappear before me and fall at my feet. I would not be so quick to presume what we see outside this space as it appears. Which is why I returned to Ragnar and asked the Loppers to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteor told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Meteons, but the dragons that hold us up here. You're tired of conflict and have chosen the path of oblivion to escape it, or rather they've chosen no path at all, meaning there's no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. Makes sense. Some theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They're not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Meteon meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnar, and she would have succeeded if not for Thankra's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner by overpowering the prevailing emotions. Oh, I see. It was Ultima Thule's architect, Meteon herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most. Potent enough mayhap to dictate the course for others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone and timbre alone threatening to rend my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted victory availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee, Elan, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon water. Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going. Cold as water, looks like mud.
先ほど私が声をかけた時も、ああして塞いだご様子で。
You were enough.
お話を伺えなかったのです。
You were enough as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
わかった。では私が。
I see. Perhaps I could. I'll handle this. Ishgard team? Oh man.
おい、お前も例によってくたばるのを待っている輩か。
Aye, our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heavens offer no comfort. There's nothing left of our kind. Our long lives occurs as we await the end. Still a storm we shall become.
そうは言うがな。お前たちの仲間に俺たちの星までたどり着いた奴がいたぞ。
So you say, yet your kind has found a new beginning on our storm.
そいつはそこで子を返し、子は多くの眷属を成して、今なお悠々と蒼天をかけている。
One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all. In on another star? And yet, upon thee do I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home? They were. They suffered much and repaid their suffering in kind. It mattereth not whither we fly. Ever will a sanguine ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. Renounce conflict, exile myself from the other, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
確かにうちの星にもそんな道を選べる奴がいたら俺は家族を失わずに済んだだろうよ。
Had your brethren made the self-same choice, my family might still be alive.
だがな、本当に平和を願ってる奴はそんな風に何もかも諦めてメソメソとくすぶっていたりしない。
Lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict.
理想を持ってぶつかって傷ついて
Music picked up. Oof.
武器より先に手を差し伸べようとする。
No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in it.
そうしてこそ悲しみの連鎖を断ち切れると俺を救った男が命を張って示していた。
Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. It's Thornton's music, isn't it?
高潔でも何でもない。ふてくされたガキの負け惜しみだ。
There's no nobility in your penance, you wallow in self-pity.
それっぽっちで譲れないものを背負って戦い抜いた俺とこいつを止められるものかよ。
And after everything we've endured, we'll not let you stop us. I see. There's the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you. Is it talking to Nidhogg? There's a win. There's no way we are losing them all. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place like Tancred did.
風の吹く方へ。私たちを必ず先へ導いてくれるはずだ。
Still, just one island though. Oh, what you're telling me is no currents on this island. Is this always be the price paid for safe passage? Look there at the wind. This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Jesus, I love Jesus. Our gale delivered you to another island. That a sign should arrive before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within the prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting Alphonse, just like Thancred. The sacrifices are why we can survive here. We still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alizé is right, we must press on for their sake. It pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades passing. No, there'll be no time. There'll be time enough after that. For that. As Stola and Alizé said, we must continue. Notice a change in our surroundings. Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. To be prudent to learn more of it, then tread carefully lest we lose our footing in this sand. Yeah, I did notice a change. Different world. A different world. Wait, what the? Huh? Roads paved what? The quest text. What the heck is going on? What the heck is that? A catastrophe. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, it would be as an ordinary stone. A curious script had been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I'm familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserved the knowledge in song and eschewed a written word entirely. So we assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Meteon claimed the dragons will suffer a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. The life we find here, like as not, though went its way towards a similar end. If you are worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. How do we suppose that is over there? I'm not sure. It's hard to make out in the distance, but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come on. Oh, there are 5 quests here as well. Okay. Where is it? Up here? Jesus H. Oh, it is up here. Okay. Hello, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Forgive me, I have forgotten. An exchange of introductions is expected when first meeting those with whom one is unacquainted. What the heck? When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intention, Iya, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you're welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to address my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkuch. Yes, Kofkuch of the Iya. We've encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we're having this conversation by the medium ether or dynamis, as the space is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your response to my presence is positive then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are of comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding the subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I prepared 198,712,180,827. That's rather a lot, isn't it? My apologies, I omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people, which may compromise our ability to interact with the physical environment. And the reason you need to regain your corporal forms? Why? To bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through the use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a depth seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments, an experience found only with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we'll answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Iya, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Iya wandering the desert. The desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, man. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. I appeal to see why civilizations so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we'll find no answers dallying here. Let's be on our way. And the way she's talking so much, it means it's her turn. Trophy, that's Delta, right? Ooh, okay. No catastrophe. I can just check. Ooh. Catastrophe. Yeah, that's Delta. So Delta would be XDev. There's no way there's an XDev reference, right? What the heck? Northeast? No. Did I just hear? Oh! In water. 400 west. Wait, west? Is there something there? West? Really? Maybe there? Let's grab the ether first. This believe this is the fourth one. Yep. Okay. You'll be surprised the concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet welcome to our boat. Most of our compeers you'll find remain idle in their domiciles, though quizzical expressions indicate the phrasing is unclear. Speak of course of the violet crystalline construct hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by a sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. Is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You only need to cast your thoughts towards one of the crystalline domiciles to communicate. Cast your thoughts towards the crystalline domicile, but it has no response. You wish to speak? Very well, I'll pray a moment if you would. I seek our end, you ask. If you wish to know, I'll tell you. Just a moment, I must remember what form did I take when I last emerged. There, the strange morning comes and goes, but soon fades into silence. Your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because your minds have unraveled due to the prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether right now. Were it not, there are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not provide a hindrance to remain as they are. More importantly, well, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us before long. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Aya have awakened. Ah, there they are. May I introduce to Lalak, Dudik, and Nenek. It has been too long. Kofkuch, I dare say Sidir 4 has been completed on orbit. Since completed in orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I didn't notice how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporal forms. The truth of the matter is plain to see, as the neighboring systems, but my single account will fail to satisfy the requirement for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them to awaken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not, in the absence of corporal forms and the divergence they afford. Mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkuch, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests, a matter of proper form. Yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind, and still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity, I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nenek. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh, such as they, must regularly replenish the ether. By contributing to the replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There's no particular name for it, but we traditionally sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you will take your place with your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. It's not how we eat, though. If it is as I suspect, then the so-called feast, actually, let us just see it for ourselves. We're not like to come to harm. Flash abandoned. I just noticed the quest text. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait a little longer. Brace yourself again, but again nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the ES home world, this is ultimate tool. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friend are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated enemy. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. Wait, so you're saying there's no ether here? So did you have a feel of ether? Unless we couldn't absorb it, a deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Real mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. Think that your mouth serves not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. It's definitely useful, Lester. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain your vessels of flesh and tends to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Iya yet possessed corporal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves in the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believe we will eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible, such as land, to the intangible, such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. But the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see, too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become incorporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make even greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations. Until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and hence predict the future. If we could achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it will be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporal forms. Their lives readily ended. As those who had gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? Seeker of knowledge. Definitely you should. We've deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know, we'll disclose to you the truth we've discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegaia. A fundamental truth. You'll hear it, of course. Let us learn what has led to such enlightened people to this indolent end. Before we join the AI, there's one trifling matter I would fain investigate. King Gratian might trouble you for your assistance, but of course. And thanks. We shall head outside the abode if you would kindly follow me. I know not what mischief you are plotting, Urianger, but I trust you have our best interests at heart. The rest of us shall go on ahead to Elegaia. Lest you worry, it won't start without you. Knowledge lead, where knowledge leads infinity sign. Okay. This place shall serve. Is it the spring that you wish to investigate? Forgive me, my friends, but there is not to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. You have our undivided attention? As we have established here in Ultimatum, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra, you believe themselves yet amongst the living. How does those suppose this is possible? Some inclined to agree. If Meteor can take the emotions of others as her own, as Darcy should be able to recreate them more faithfully than she had relied on any historical account. By which logic, she must have visited them. They still live, the dragons and Ea both. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption, consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteor perceived the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an entelechy. In the course of her star-faring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesses the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis, 'tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteor did unleash Dynamis and usher the dragons in the Aeon to their doom. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find your way forward, pray ask yourself this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that you yearn most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Never again would I betray a trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades and blame indeed into my confidence. I remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the crystal exor. I must place my faith in thy chosen path, walking at that side full knowing that we are bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest their favor and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. Oh wait, he says that it's his turn. If you say my debt has come due, how am I supposed to refuse? This indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even I must needs go to such lengths. I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I found within. The answer to the question, in what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been brought through, I'll only say this. Do what you must, and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend, I shall. Without further ado, then let us go to join our comrades. That spam in the chat again, god damn it. Let's be off to Elegia. Seems everyone is accounted for, shall we then? Please continue. Tell us about this truth we discovered. Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We'll forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge with regret that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb ill. Deneb 3? As such, in order to avoid this causing undue distress, we'll refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
あなたたちのしたいように話してくれて構わないから、本題に進んでちょうだい。
Entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
元首、私たちの今いる宇宙は小さな点だった。ある瞬間にそれが弾けて広がり出したのだ。
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand.
それも一つの星の表面に張り付いている種族では理解が及ばないかもしれないが、その宇宙の広がりは未だに続いているのだよ。
Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp, but this expansion has since continued unabated.
そしてこれが最も重要なことだ。私たちは広がり続けた先に何が起きるのかを突き止めた。
Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery.
星々はあまりに遠く引き離される。そうなってしまった宇宙ではもはや熱は巡らない。
I hate this topic. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies.
すべての星は凍てついたまま、新たな星が誕生することもなく、永遠の終わりを迎えるのだ。
Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter an eternal ice age.
この結論に間違いがないか。あらゆる方面から検討をした。同時に現実的な回避方法についても星を挙げて研究したよ。
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter.
徒労の例文として私たちの辞典に掲載されるようになるまでね。
The endeavor proved fruitless, so infinitely so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it.
結末が確定した時点で私たちの発展は頭打ちになった。終わりまではまだしばらくの時間があったが、それが何の慰めになる。
Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort.
考えてもみたまえ。種の誕生以来引き継がれ、充実させてきた地の保管庫が、やがて跡形もなく消されると分かったのだ。
A strive for anything when desolation is assured, when our wealth of wisdom accumulated since the dawning of our kind would be forever lost.
その消失を悔やんでくれる者も、復元を試みる執念深い考古学者も、永遠に現れない。
No,
仕事終わりとは、そういうことだ。
no civilization would rise from our ashes, no scholar recover our knowledge, in silence unbroken, not would stir.
私たちの誇ってきた知識は一点、いかに見当違いで無意味なことを重ねてきたかを示す知れ者の象徴となった。
Intellect was once our pride. Overnight it became our shame, our works monuments to futility.
だった永遠の生も、もはや苦痛でしかない。エーテル焼却装置を使って己を消し去る者が現れ始めた。
Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators.
こ こにある日はそうした者たちの自世の言葉を刻んだものだ。それすらも虚しいと残さなかったものは多いがね。
Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. In this, understand aught of our tale, you abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is a bliss. If you cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure, it is the only way. So that's your story. But it is hurting. Well, appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth I ever believe is in the eye of the beholder. They're suggesting that we have reached a fairly faulty conclusion, that our science failed us? Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. That I accept is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the ear. The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. Wait, he was talking about Ishtola previously? The universe may end and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. Oh my god, I accidentally clicked. I suppose that is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of all. Worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair. Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azem's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. Didn't she say it was temporary? Or... But you mustn't, for it will mean losing a way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost us, so press on, and do not look back. My desire have never been as strong as thine. Full loved, I have wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. The truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also exclaim to excel in prophecies. My studies into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue. With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail? What's this? An extinguished civilization rekindled?
そうよ。ここはまだ私たちの行き止まりじゃない。
That's right.
あなたにも届いてみせるんだから。
Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on and we'll find you.
私たちはあそこにいるわ。
There, that's where you'll find me.
あれも星なのか?
That another story?
私たちはいくつもの星を渡ってきた。多くはすでに滅んでいたし、かろうじて見つけられた生命も何かしらの理由で生きることを呪っていたわ。
The stars we visited, most were devoid of life, and where there was still life still, the inhabitants wished for death.
たくさん飛んでみてわかったの。死ですら完璧な終わりではないんだって。
But even death, we learn, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of a cycle of rebirth.
だって命は巡るんだもの。星のうちでそれが壊れればもっと大きな輪の中でずっと流転する。
Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow, and eventually they are reborn.
それじゃ苦しい生がまた始まってしまうわ。
Alive again to know suffering anew.
本当の終わり、本当の救いはね、死ぬだけじゃなくてもう生まれてこないことよ。
True salvation lies not in dying, it lies in not being born. Holy shit, man.
どうにかそれを届けたかったの。すべての命に恋しいアーテリスに。
Oh my god. That is some next level despair. This is the gift I would give to you, to all life on beautiful Aetheris.
だから巣の核としてあれを作ったのよ。死した太陽、帰らない卵。
To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun.
あなたたちを守る思いが消えるのと、私のところへたどり着くの、どちらが早いかしら。
Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away along with the protection. Man, everything is disintegrating. But I still have to do a blue quest. How fortunate that you are here, Corporal Being, for you're in need of your assistance. I'm sure you saw some of my kind drifting about the untamed wilds just over there. As I understand, they're binding their spirits together as one in the hopes of diluting their consciousness and thereby erasing their sorrows. Unfortunately, the resulting amalgam doubtless longs for more minds to incorporate, and if other Ea approach it, may be drawn into the growing mass against our will. Your corporal form seems to outweigh your mental capacity, so it should be safe. However, please destroy the collective unconsciousness before it kills us all. I say I'm dumb. Your ready acceptance gladdens me. I believe that if you lay waste to 2 wandering souls, the amalgam will appear. Do be aware that while your mind is safe, it may present other dangers should you realize what you are attempting. Wait, no nuke? Pardon me, Trevor, I lack the sense of time as perceived by those of finite lifespans. But might you be able to spare a moment to speak with some of my fellow Aya? It's rare to find one so unmarred by the scars of the deepest wisdom. Your appearance and perception as an outsider differ so much from our own that I wonder if a degree of interaction might prove stimulating for both parties. Much obliged. I shall mark our location on your map. They tend to spend considerable time frequenting their usual haunts. What a curious being you are. Have my peers discovered how to regain their corporal forms while I remain lost in thought? No, of course not. Come to think of it, I wonder if you ever possess the peculiar form that you now do. If my family have not found a way for us to reacquire corporeality, perhaps it falls to me to meditate further upon the matter. In any event, pray leave me to my cogitations. How curious, an unfamiliar corporal life form calls out to me as I wait in vain for the inevitable coming of the end. This is indeed the chance of a lifetime, perhaps of many lifetimes, and so I pose to you this question. Tell me, traveler, what is the true nature of life and the universe? Of course. Of course, 42 would be in the answer. An eternal adventure. It seems you still have much to learn, and yet I almost envy your blissful ignorance. It reminds me of feelings that I and my kind have long since forgotten. Is that a fate? It is a fate. Oh, you must be the traverser from beyond who has been causing quite a stir around our boat. What a stroke of luck. In fact, I've been hoping I might have the opportunity to exchange thoughts with you and your companions. For you see, I have for too long whiled away my days in listless banality, drifting wearily as my mental faculties dulled and slowed. I so longed to strike up a stimulating conversation with a traveler, yet for so long none would pay me a visit. That said, I never imagined you would have such a strange physical form. Pray tell, how do you keep your balance? What keeps your innards from spilling out through one of the multiple orifices in your body? Oh, but pardon me, truly I meant no offense. Clearly, life in your world found this shape to be suitable, perhaps even necessary for your survival. Perhaps our original form was equally horrifying. As he made quick work of the amalgam, of course, it is well within each ES right to choose when they wish to end their own existence, but to force others to join them, however, accidentally, is another matter. This whole ordeal has led me to contemplate how I should meet my own demise, but forgive me, I forgot such matters are not to left to choice for your kind. Truthfully, I envy you to go forth each day of vigor, not knowing when your lives will be unexpectedly snuffed out. It must feel incredible. My apologies if I made you feel uncomfortable. I'm used to speaking with mortals. Be sure that I appreciate your help, and you have given me much to think about regarding death or perhaps life. Did you encounter my acquaintances? I can only hope that they derive the same sense of stimulation from conversing with you as much as I myself did. For if so, we may have yet to discover a means to attain the moratorium known as death. Until that time, should you ever be in the mood for discussion on the profound and inevitable meaninglessness of the universe, we'll be here waiting. Yes, always waiting. Two blue quests to go and 3 currents to be okay. You ready to continue? Then let us make way where the light shone. Ishtal and Uranje have opened the way for us. What is that? Alright. Safe to say it's not on this island, I think. Yes, I can feel it, the ether emanating from the arcane pattern. This is a portal, and no mistake, so let's see where it leads. Level Tricker. Oh. Omega's homeland. Think of it, yeah, we never did find out about Omega. Why was he in pursuit for Omega? So why did his people ravage the dragon homelands? Amazing, yet another civilization. Attack as soon as you arrive? Not the most welcoming of places, is it? We must try to find denizens who are amenable to compensation. We should also get the lay of the land, see how far we can go. I'll help Elfin with that. In the meantime, you and Graha can search for a friendlier foe. Apart from hostile beings, take care of your footing. I mislike the look of this terrain. Not knowing what locals are like, you best take care of yourselves. We will find you once we finish exploring. Spectre Twins will seek the outermost bounds of this island, so I propose we search the central area. There are machines patrolling here and there, sentinels in all likelihood. Like those you encountered, they will most certainly attack any who venture too close. So let's avoid them and look for others that appear more approachable. What the heck? Are you serious? Wait, south? 89 south? 80 southeast? You know what? Let's deal with this first. They say not by patrolling machines in the area. They do not seem inclined to non-violent intercourse. Omicron, okay. And definitely not in this base. Last ether on the map. Right. Okay, the machines here do not appear hostile. Let's see if we can communicate with them. Begging your pardon, but we're searching for the denizens of this star. Unknown life forms detected. Assign a generic label: interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet. The planet? What? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated into yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. The Omicrons, you say? And what is it that you do here? We are preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should a star become designated, however, you'll be taken into custody and or terminated. Not a little frightening, these Omicrons, but at least they seem to be forthright. I will see what else I can learn from this fellow. If you could try speaking to the others. Green travelers, when venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands, sir, and indiscriminately order all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the Alliance of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. Measuring combat capability, result negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, travelers. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the home world of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the style was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. The subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. I want to know the order of what happened. When did Midgardsormr flee? Did he even attempt to fight? Did he just leave the planet for dead? Did he leave after they lost? Wasn't he like the strongest being? That's what goes after him? Like, so many questions. Autonomous weapons deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munitions levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Awaiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. You learned a few things, so did I. Before I share our findings, however, I believe it best to step aside the outpost. Come with me. Ah, there you are. You finished surveying the area. This will come as no surprise, but there was no way forward. There are only portals like the ones we used to get here, but those that work only send us to isolated isles. Then as before, we must locate the embodiment of the emotion that bars the way. What of yourselves? Did you find anyone to speak with? So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands, and so they wait. In such a place, who could it be that fits Urianger's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianger said this during investigations before he joined Elegia. So that's the way of it. Why couldn't he say it to all of us? Given what we know of this place, it's certainly a curious state of affairs. While the dragons and the AL long for death, the Omicrons long for conflict. As much as that they may lead to destruction, it must be considered a distinct desire. In order to find the source of the dominant emotion, I believe we should seek out their leader, this Sir. According to MO32, the first Omicron with whom we spoke, there is a console by which we may communicate with it. MO32 was also added that it would be a pointless exercise, but in itself, I believe, is worth investigating what's saying. Are you serious? I wasted some XP. East. That explored like the whole map. Come on, man. I think I know where to get the level checker. It's a fate here, right? Dynamis Crystal. Interesting. Initiating communication. This unit requests a participation in an Omicron combat simulation. 98.8% of the past 12,359 sessions have produced the exact same result. Thus, an unknown quantity such as yourself is required. An Omicron aggressor is positioned outside your base. This unit has instructed said opponent to record all combat session data. You may initiate your assault when your preparations are complete. Once record be destroyed if I smash it. Uncertainty detected. Reviewing previous transmission. Verbal analysis suggests this unit has omitted crucial information regarding the current mission. This unit begs your pardon. Once you have nearly destroyed the aggressor, you're requested to reactivate this device, which will automatically transfer combat data to convenient portable format, initiating handover protocol. Planning coordinates. Per the transmission you have just received, the opponent is located on the planar frame extending from this base. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit thanks you for cooperation. The quest, like, it's not even a word anymore. There's no words anymore. Assistance requested. This unit has observed a curious phenomenon in which certain members of enemy factions have exhibited a marked increase in their combat capabilities. Analysis suggests that said members share unique interspecific bonds with others in their faction. These individuals were conferred titles such as consort and family. This unit detected no difference in physiology that would provide notable advantage in combat. The presence of intraspecific bonds alone led to an increase in performance. Records indicate that one member of bond group exhibits this exponential improvement when others are eliminated. Potential benefits of such augmentations are projected to be immense. Does this unit's query? Are you familiar with the aforementioned phenomenon? Yes. This is fortunate, as this unit is constructed in consort for research purposes. You're asked to delineate this method by which this unit might form an intraspecific bond with such consort. Requesting standby at present coordinates, initiating consort retrieval. With an introduction, this unit presents the information consort at present. Its capabilities are comparable to subordinate patrol units. How should we proceed? We give it a pet name. Scanning identification database. Records indicate this Omicron is designated Test Unit 0043. This unit requests confirmation that said appellation qualifies as sufficiently pet. Precedence detected. New proposal, my beloved. A review of this unit's memory shows that a member of an enemy faction referred to its bondmate as such. Appellation name changed. Confirm new designation, my beloved. When configuring emotional state to grateful, this unit appreciates your assistance in facilitating the creation of a special bond with my beloved. Initiating phase 2 of experiment. This unit will evaluate whether the destruction of my beloved bears a positive impact on this unit's combat capabilities. Transmitting self-destruction command to my beloved. Analyzing unit status, no changes in functionality detected. Possibility of transmission failure estimated at 78%. This unit asks that you confirm that my beloved has successfully executed the self-destruct command. Retrieval remains also requested. Isn't this the AlphaScape music? Southwest? Oh, okay. Guess I have no choice but to fight you. Are you serious? I'm done. Nice. Are you serious? Being received transmission analysis suggests that aggressor is no longer operational. Requesting return of previously provided recording device. Extraction of combat data complete. Analyzing. Audio data greatly exceeds expected values in all previous records, reconfiguring emotional state to impressed. The data suggests you engaged the aggressor at close quarters and gave it little time to respond. This unit will submit a request to the logistics matrix for the augmentation of emergency escape apparatus. Searching database for situationally appropriate axiom only through combat can we improve ourselves. The absence of new challenge results in stagnation. Records indicate the base has not encountered a new threats in a considerable amount of time. This unit sees potential value in enduring attacks more frequently, though its Discord prevention module is buzzing in a most irritating fashion. Reconfiguring emotional state to grateful. This unit appreciates the cooperation with the collected combat data. Analysis suggests it will prove invaluable to the further development of base Omicron. Requesting the retrieval of my beloved, potential for reconstruction and further experimentation remains high. This feels like a chain quest. Self-destruct confirmed successful, sadly experiment confirmed unsuccessful. Analysis of this unit's parameters show no change in functionality. This unit will consider executing a family simulation after reconsulting enemy faction data, but based on the results of consort simulation, termination of result may be advisable. Reconfiguring emotional state from disappointed to grateful. This unit thanks you once more for cooperation. Your proposed methodology may be implemented in future experiments. Oh, it's not? Interesting. For the console we seek lies on the far side of this isle. Given the nature of the ground, the route may not be entirely direct as it seems. Let's watch our step as we make our way. Jesus. This appears to be the console, but it seems unresponsive. Would you care to look at it? By touching, smacking, and the tuning of the console, but there's no response. No luck, I see. There must be a way to activate it, there must. Well, I'm out of ideas.
私もだよ。操作方法以前にそもそも起動しないとなるとどこをどうしていいやらだ。
Yes, am I? Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it?
一つ試せることがあるかもしれない。
Perhaps there is a way.
まず考えるべきはここがどんな星の再現なのかってことだ。
First, consider the world that has been recreated here.
住民たちの機械のような体。戦闘の記録を集めて自分を強化してるって話や。竜の星と戦っていたこと。
Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves, and among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against dragons.
あんたも予想がついてるんじゃないか。そう。ここはあのオメガの母星だと思うんだ。
Wait, you know about Omega? Why? How? As you doubtless surmise, I believe this was the home world of Omega. Oh!
オメガ本体と戦った時のことを思い出してくれ。シドはオメガ
Because
の
you
弱
knew
点は
of the
雷だって
Alex.
見抜いて
Okay.
強力な雷発生装置を作ってくれたんだよな。
Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness. Wait, how do you know that?
それがこの端末とどう関係してくるわけ？まさか雷を落とそうって言うんじゃないでしょうね。
Well and good, but does that... Wait, you're not thinking of striking the concept of lightning, are you?
そのまさかさ。オメガほど強力な兵器が雷に弱かったのは遮断するわけにはいかなかったからとは考えられないか。
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourself this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
自身を動かしたり何らかの機能を行使する際に雷に近いものを用いていたということだね。
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
とすれば他のオミクロンや彼らの扱う装置も同じ作りになってる可能性があるんじゃないかと思ってさ。
My thoughts exactly, and there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices.
ひとまず軽い雷撃を落としてみようと思うんだがいいか？
Okay, I cast caution to try something reckless and dramatic. Or I can use my custom-made Omega Jammer.
え、あんたまだあれを持ってるのか？シドの決断とガーロンド社の技術、そしてネロの激励が生んだあの伝説の対オメガ用装置を。
I did not expect that reaction. You still have it? Sid and Nero's legendary device which brought low the super weapon Omega?
あれはシドが本体を制御してないと使えないだろ。からかうなよな。
Wait, the actual device was much too big to lug around, so you must have only the control module, and then I was getting excited. Never mind, an old-fashioned spell will suffice. It worked? It's that eye. Opening connection to communications module. Connection established. Wait, it's master in Japanese. Why did they translate it as sir? Interesting. Transmission Strategic Matrix Stigma 1 now online. As the primary strategic matrix, you may address me as sir. New communications, none found. All units, please maintain current state. And transmission, closing connection. Wait, we have questions for you. Of late, no mission or orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble? Reply. The Extended Operations Unit has yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain state of combat readiness and reply awaiting query.
長期行動計画ユニットはなぜ判断を遅らせているのだろうか。
Can you help us? Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit still hasn't determined the guidelines? Unable to comply, information unavailable or access restricted.
では、長期行動計画ユニットと直接交信させてもらうことは
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit? Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
じゃあ他に何か異常はない？この星に危機が迫っているとか、住民たちの不満が高まっているとか。
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities like a threat to the star or widespread unrest? Flight negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at the designated post and reply. And transmission closing connection.
どうするかな。もう一度起動させたとしても取り付く島はなさそうだ。
Could activate it again, but I doubt it will be productive. What do you think?
とりあえず今の話の範囲だとやっぱり終わりを望んでるって感じじゃなかったわよね。
If all the Omicrons were really running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end.
マスター自身も出撃命令こそ出してないだけで準備はしておけって言っていたし。
As this sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
逆に言えば、マスターの姿勢がそうである以上、準備を怠っていたり、役目に逆らっている者がいれば怪しいかもしれないね。
Should be standing by, but at any rate, if there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them.
そのあたりを念頭に置きながら、もう少し住民たちの様子を見てみないかい？長期行動計画ユニットについても聞いてみよう。
I propose they take another look around and also try to find the operations unit. Let us focus our search on the outposts. Alize and I will try speaking with the Omicrons this time in the hopes we might learn something new. Meanwhile, perhaps the Angraha could observe them from a distance? These beings are systematic and routine by nature. If there are any that aren't, it shouldn't be too difficult to spot them. If there are no questions, then let's begin at once. As we came this way, I believe I spied a promising vantage point. Follow me. Search base Omicron for errant Omicrons. You may move the camera as well as okay. Once wondered about Cecily as if lacking a clear objective. And Omicron wandering aimlessly? Where? Aha, I see it. It's left the base. Let's follow it. The final tailing mission. It's not tailing. Okay. What is this? A teleporter? It's not here. But it definitely came this way. It must have used this portal. Time to go through and see what we find. Crap, I should have switched jobs. Lambda. Like a reskin of a rotor. Crystals. What is your query? Ah, you found it. What are you doing here? I'm looking at a tree. What an unusual specimen. What is the device attached to it? The tree is a sample collected from another star. As it cannot survive in our environment, however, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. Go to such lengths to sustain it. Is there something special about this tree? Being foreign matter, protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves. Like we did countless others, we conquered the star whence this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire. Yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way? And to what end? I do not understand. I see. Out of curiosity, does it pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and assume a state of combat readiness. So it was acting outside of orders. Perhaps it is simply a malfunctioning Omicron. These are by no means uncommon, but it may also be a unit possessed of the ability to make decisions, one not unlike Sir. I believe this bears further investigations. To endeavor to live if we must depend on our forces beyond our control. Tell me, Kane, one day when this adventure becomes a part of your epic, do you think I'll be mentioned in it? This again? Why wouldn't you be? You truly think so? That'll be a... No, I shouldn't say such things until the moment comes to pass. Never mind the embarrassment. Let's best get on with the task. Tracking down Sir and understanding the nature of the emotion which bars our way. Hello world. They they did it. They did it. I should have seen this coming. We should return to the outpost for now. The others will wish to hear about the errant Omicron. Raha says you found a suspicious Omicron? That's good, because the units here were of no help. They all had the same thing to say about the extended operations unit, that there's no way to arrange a direct meeting. Still, that served to prove that it's business as usual at the outpost. But enough about us. Tell me you learned something more useful. In Omicron trying to make sense of the meaning of life, none of the others were even a fraction as philosophical. This unit may well be in a position of leadership, perhaps even one of those that comprise Sir. As we know, the Omicrons invade other stars and enhance themselves using the spoils of conquest. With the technology at their disposal, they should be able to alter their bodies, be it in part or in whole. Setting aside the question of motive, if Sir, for example, wished to have an ordinary Omicron's body, I see no reason why it would not be possible. Probably is how to go about asserting if that's what happened. When attempted to probe further, it promptly ended the conversation. If it is indeed Sir, I doubt it will willingly reveal its true identity. I have an idea. Use lightning on the console again, but we make it stronger, much stronger. At that moment, should the unit exhibit a reaction that could suggest that it has a connection to Sir? An inspired idea, I dare say. It is worth a try. I have a feeling you'll be on board. This time, you must allow me to do the honors. I'll stand guard in case of incantation draws sentries to the scene. For my part, then, I'll approach our suspect and divert its attention, during which time, Kane, I want you to observe it closely for anomalous behavior. I should mention that shortly before you return, an Omicron appeared from the same direction, rather than entering the outpost, however. It headed towards the console. At first I assumed it was a unit on patrol, but perhaps that could only be our errant Omicron. We must seek it out and begin our operation at once. Alright, Elfino, and I will stand by at the console, and when it's time, I'll unleash a veritable storm. This will work, I'm sure of it. After all, our comrades are watching us. Come, my friend, let us find this doubt-plagued Omicron. I think I'll stop here. I should be very close to the end. Let's end this.